And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here from Westlake Village, California. It's going to be another beautiful hot day. I think it got 98 degrees yesterday. Here we are, first couple days of May, and it already feels like summer. And yes, some major impacts on the market coming in from yesterday's FOMC meeting. Powell raised rates a half a point, did what he said he was going to do. Said they're not considering a 75% basis point rate hike, to expect higher inflation. And just following up on yesterday's price action, we did say with any kind of a daily closure above this guy right here, this trend line, we were looking for a measure move up to the green 55. And how would we invalidate that move? Well, any kind of a closure back below this trend line, which we just got, and on a 4-hour time frame is good enough for me with volume here. And I would say, as I said yesterday, you know, if we got the move up to 41,000, it was probably just going to be another lower high, a pity bounce. And you know, those downside targets were already initiated. The monthly time frame closed extremely bearishly, almost below the yellow 21. Not quite. So we had a bearish monthly close. Additionally, we had the 5-day, which has been momentum cracked to the downside. Volatility is extremely low. And as soon as we tick up, regain the exponential, and I'd say get above the 30 percentile here, I'm looking for that next 45% move to land somewhere around 24 to 25,000. And that could happen, you know, over the next 45 to 50 days. 5-day signals take some time to play out. There's going to be some bounces along the way. Most notably, probably at 33,000, we get a bounce. Probably at 30,000, we get a bounce. But pressure is on to the downside. And again, what is running the market here? Take a look at NASDAQ just completely coughing up that rally from yesterday, rejecting the 9 exponential on, this is the 5-day time frame. But we did have those drives of hidden bullish divergence. Again, prices making lower lows, RSIs making higher lows. The first target on 3 drives of bullish divergence is the 9 exponential. The second target is the green 55. And you can clearly see that we're rejecting on the 4-hour time frame right here. And we've got bearish divergence playing out. 1, 2, 3 drives, which gives you a shot to the bottom side of the range, coming in at 12,750. You can see, so it's trend, momentum, and volatility, right? We got lower highs and lower lows. We've got bearish divergence. We've got momentum ticking to the downside, and we've got volatility turning up, telling me this move is likely to get extended. On top of that, the dollar putting in a bit of a rally here, back up to the 104, probably towards that 104 target we were talking about last week. And if 104 decides it wants to break on even a 4-hour time frame, I'm looking for a next target up at almost 105, 104.78, and that will be in line with stocks and Bitcoin coming down to those lower side targets. In fact, Bitcoin is hitting that target of 37,000 as we speak on the CMEs. And we had been talking about, hey, any kind of a daily closure below 39,000 very, very likely would beget continuation down to 37 with a small bounce, and then probably down to 33. But sometimes the market does exactly the opposite of everything, or of what everybody thinks. And I think yesterday people were pretty bearish, thinking the market was going to come down, reversed in everybody's faces for a little pity bounce. And now we're cracking back down below support, below that even $38,000 region. And, you know, this very likely could get us the move. Let's see. I'm just going to redraw this, take off all the drawing tools here. And boom, boom. So are we going to still have a chance for that hidden bullish divergence to play out back from this point here? No, not yet. So RSI would have to make an additional lower low here. So this thing very, very likely, Bitcoin does want to come down to 34.5 on the shorter term time frames, like the 4-hour. I think that move is probably going to be initiated here. with any kind of a closure below here, below 37,000. Next target is going to be 34.5, and we probably get a bounce somewhere around there. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on the daily, and we are getting that volatility expansion. Stokes did cross up yesterday. We'll cross down below 38,582. And that would probably, initiate a target down to 34.4 here with any kind of a daily closure below 38.5, which looks like we are a good $2,500 down today. So a little bit of blood in the streets here. And so again, could this be another fake out? How would we invalidate this? Look, daily closure back above 41.5, more conservative 43,000. That's what I'd be ready to say, hey, maybe this was a bit of a bear trap. But it looks like downwards pressure is going to be on. And as long as we're closing below 38,500, pressure is on to the downside. And that's it for Bitcoin. The 5-day on CMEs will close in 6 days. So Stokes are to the downside. Momentum is just about to tick up. And again, why do we look at this? You know, the 5-day, when BBWP has gotten this low and started to expand, you look at the last 4 times, and we had been saying on spot price on this one, we just want to see it get above 20%, and that would initiate the move to those downside targets. Cleaning up the chart a little bit here. And yeah, probably, you know, looks like a bounce somewhere around, you know, 32 to 33,000. And I will just show you exactly why this looks like it's playing out. I've seen this signature many, many times before, but you have this high right here, and you got 1, 2, 3 lower highs, which would have been confirmed on that closure right there, which I do believe we pointed out. And 3 drives of lower highs versus, that's only 1, 2 drives of bearish divergence. So coming back from this point, yeah, we had 2 drives of bearish divergence, prices making, hidden bearish divergence when in a downtrend, prices making lower highs and RSI is making higher highs. So you can see there's 1, 2. Okay, so that's enough for Bitcoin today. Moving on to ApeCoin, because I've been having a lot of success with this one and playing it to the downside. Just checking in on my position as we speak. And yep, taking a little $4,000 profit right now. That's looking good. Are we going to play out a bounce here off of this? So that is the big question, you know, when to take these profits. Are we going to get a little bounce here? And here's what I would say is that because RSI is so low, down to the 10 percentile, that's typically a bouncing region. However, we are trending pretty hard to the downside. How about the 30 minutes way down there below 20 percentile? So does the 1 hour continue to roll over? We've got a 1 hour closure coming up here in, let's see, when's the 1 hour going to close? In about 28 minutes. So if we take out this low and this low, how's that going to look on the RSI? Let's see. So if we take out this low, that's a lower low. That's a lower low. We would need to create a higher low right here for even one drive of bearish divergence to play, or excuse me, bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence to play out. We'd have to make at least one little high here. That's wrecked. And just getting wrecked on my little trade here to the downside. The question is, do we get a tick above this guy or do we reject here? Let's take a look. That's on the 5 minute. Oops. So that's why you don't stream and trade at the same time. Let's see what the 1 minute chart is doing. The 1 minute can give you indicators on the 5 minute. And, you know, as long as the 1 minute is rejecting that yellow 21, we are going to have another drive of hidden bearish divergence. And that, how do we confirm this is a local high? We need the 1 minute to close back below this low. Anyways, that's it for ApeCoin. I'm going to put it on a daily time frame, give us a little more visual. So basically, if Bitcoin gets slacked down today, down to 34,000, this one probably next target down to 13 bucks, and then judge it from there. So be keeping an eye out for what Bitcoin does, what the NASDAQ does, and what the dollar does. In fact, that if the dollar starts to rally here, it's not going to be good for cryptos in itself. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Same thing, a bit of a fake out. This is a, you know, total fake out here, it looks like. And how would we invalidate it? You know, the daily would have to come back and close back above 3,000 now. Otherwise, pressure is going to be down to the downside. And we will cross down today below 27,300. And I would say this, that on a 4-hour time frame, I'm going to get rid of some of these lines here. On the 4-hour, yep, completing those, another drive of hidden bearish divergence, get us a shot to the bottom side of the range. Momentum is crossing to the downside. Volatility is not quite to a 90 percentile yet, so could we get another drive down on the next 4-hour closure? I do think so. This candle has volume. So I do think that might be nice for a little bit of a bounce here. And just checking on my ape coins here. Getting a little backfill. All right. So Ethereum target, you know, any kind of a break below 2,700 on the 4-hour. Next target down is about 2,500. If we want to invalidate it and say any kind of a 4-hour back above 3,000, I'd say you're at least going to head back to 3,200. If 3,200 breaks on a 4-hour, I'd be looking for a good shot back up to, let's see, on the daily. Really, with this kind of a bearish candle, it's hard to see the upwards pressure. But yeah, back above 3,000 bucks on a daily, and I'm looking for 3,200 to get hit. And I'd even say on a 4-hour, that'd be enough to do it for me. Okay, let's just go down the list here. Comp getting absolutely slammoed back down to its almost all-time lows, and it does look like we're going to revisit those lows. And let's see on a fib retracement if we can essentially get a target off of that. This last breakdown. So yeah, it looks like next level down for this guy is coming in at 91 bucks from 105. That's a decent move. That's on the daily time frame. If we look at it on a 4-hour, yes, that's in line with the 4-hour coming back down. We're just retesting the support, and next leg down is going to be down to 91 bucks. Let's see, going down the list here, Luna. Luna is taking a little bit of a hit here. And let's see if I can clean up this chart a little bit so we can see it on the 4-hour time frame. And I would just say this is just a kind of massive consolidation. And measure moves are going to be mediated by any kind of a closure back below here at, so that would bring our next target down at 56. And then if we can close back above 90, so I'll just put that back in there at 90. Where's my drawing tools? So that is the 382 or the 618 if you do a bullish retracement. And the question is, are we going to reject here on Mr. ApeCoin? I'm just going to bring it back to the 1 minute because it's kind of fun to look at the 1 minute, especially when the markets get really volatile here. And what I can tell you is that, so here's our lower lows. Do we have higher lows in RSI? Coming back from this point, we'd have a couple of higher lows. Now, on the opposite side, if we confirm this as a local high with a closure back below here, that is going to give us a drive to the bottom side of the range at 1393. 1393. So how are we going to confirm that? Because we have from this point here, 1, 2, 3 drives, and it looks like we will have the same 3 drives even if we come up to the green 55 at 1445. But there is so much downwards pressure right now with Bitcoin just sliding off a cliff here. I imagine it does play into what happens to a lot of the altcoins here. And actually, even on the 1 minute here, you can see for Bitcoin, as volatility started to decline, the price traded to the sideways. Now, when volatility ticks back up, you'd expect price to go in the direction of the trend, which is down. And even on the 1 minute, we're playing out some bearish divergence. We've got these lower highs here coming in. And yeah, I would say, even on the 1 minute, 36,631 would be the target to the downside. What else do we want to touch on? We looked at Luna. Let's take a look at Gala because this one is come down from about 18 cents and was one of the stronger altcoins, retesting support. And I mean, the next shot down here is going to be on the daily time frame. If this confirms as a local high, next shot down is going to be here. And how would we invalidate it? Really with a daily closure back above 18 cents. And that would probably get us a move. Whoops. So, and I did have a rather large measure move pointed down to this level with a break of this line here. I believe I did something like this. Yep. So looks like Gala doing the full retrace back down to 8 cents. I remember buying some Gala at 8 cents and selling some up here. Was an amazing trade. One of my best trades of the year. And now we get to play it back to the downside. Yeah, I imagine, a lot of these projects are going to get stepped on significantly if Bitcoin comes down to, 33,000. And that's just going to create a better buying opportunity for us all. So, thank God for the dips, having some, opportunity to buy when it's lower. That is a real privilege. And really, that's where the most money can be made on a whole here. So going down further, Matic, I haven't even checked on this one in quite some time. And look, I do remember having this support drawn in right here. And we were saying, hey, any kind of a daily closure back below there, very likely going to hit that $1 target. And hey, next target down, if this breaks right here on Matic, that could get pretty nasty all the way down to, let's see if I can do a little bearish retracement here from this high to this low. And what do you know? It does line up right there. And that's where I'd be drawing. Wow, that's almost a full retrace on Matic down to 70 cents. That would be brutal. Absolutely brutal. Hey, invalidation comes with a daily closure back above 136, and I'd be looking for 117 to get hit over some time. So pretty clear levels lined out for Mr. Matic. And let's see what's going on. Volatility is declining on the 1 minute. We're about to cross down. I'm going to add to my short. I'm going to add to the short. So why don't I just show you guys how I do that? I'll just pull this up right here. And you know what? It's not showing my whole screen, but running a little bit of a profit here, and we're rejecting the 9 exponential. Looks like we're going to come back down. So what I will do is, since I'm selling short, I'll select a buy price, 25% of my position, and then you hit the sell short button. It's pretty easy, and that'll increase. And my thing's not going to get hit again. That's happened to me. Oh, there it goes. There she goes. There she goes. So why am I more downside angled and biased on this trade? Well, even on the 1 minute for Mr. Ape. Mr. Ape, poor Mr. Ape. Those ape coins. And here's why I'm more angled to the downside, even on the 1 minute. Okay. We're making the lower highs and the lower lows. Volatility has been declining as the price has been going sideways. We put in another lower high, confirming in about 30 seconds. And, next target down even on the 1 minute. So you got momentum crossing to the downside. Volatility is low, and it should tick up here. And when volatility ticks up, I expect the price to go in the direction of the trend, which is down. So it's pretty easy there, and pretty easy there, easy trading when you know it's probably going down, alongside Bitcoin, which has been going down. Even on the 1 minute, kind of doing the same thing here as volatility is declining. We'll cross down below 36,940, so not quite there on the 1 minute. Let's take a look at the hourly, closing in 24 minutes here, and that is that. What else did I want to cover today? Let's take a look at some other big losers. Cardano. Oh, my Cardanos are going down. It's horrible. Horrible. So we will cross down on the daily below 75 cents, and measure move on this breakdown. Even on the daily time frame, if we close a daily back below 74 cents, next target down for Cardano is going to be there. We probably get a small bounce in between there on the 4-hour time frame, something like that. 4-hour volatility is maxed out. So do I expect this move to get extended at least to the bottom side of the range? Did we make a lower high there? No, we made a higher high. But right there we did. And that does give you 1, 2, 3 drives of bearish divergence. Hidden bearish divergence. Price is making lower highs, RSI is making higher highs, and that is quite nice. So Mr. Ape, come on down with the rest of the market. We're kind of melting down as we speak. And what else do I want to take a look at? Let's look at XRP, and we've been talking about XRP breaking 50 cents or heading down to 50 cents, and I do believe that is my target. If we take a look at the daily time frame and we look at a bearish retracement, yep, that's coming in right here at 51 cents, and that will be mediated with a daily closure back below here, and invalidation comes with a daily closure back above here. Or should I say the breakdown level? Actually, I'll raise this up to here. Daily closure back above 68, and I'll be looking for 78 to get hit. And really, the breakout area is 90 cents. If we can get back above 90 cents for Mr. Cardano. And now getting a little bit of a bounce on my position, which I don't like. But are we going to still keep coming down? Are we going to keep coming down on Mr. Which one do I want to show you? Here we go. So now we're running a $60,000 profit. I believe I entered this trade just right when I started the stream, so not bad for a little stream trade. And so the question is, where do we take profits, right? Where do we take profits? And I will give you my best guess here, but it might not be a good idea to take any profits if the market wants to keep shafting down. Bitcoin at 37,000 right now. Volatility ticking up on the daily time frame. And I would expect like a 20% move. The hourly is just taking out all these lows. And we took out these lows. So really the next stop down for Bitcoin is here. So if that happens, on the 4-hour, volatility is about to get maxed out. So we could get a little bit of a bounce. And we do have, what do we have on the other side? If this confirms as a local low, we would have, let's see, going back from this point, multiple drives. Let's see, RSI just took out this guy. So that kills that, that kills that. So we'd have to go all the way back to this point right here and say that is where any bullish divergence, if we don't continue to pile down and take out this low on RSI, if that happens, yeah, this shot could happen pretty quick, pretty swiftly to the downside. NASDAQ's only down 575 right now. It was down 900 points at one point. So again, you kind of mediate your trades by looking at the entire market. That's at least what I do. And that gives me, you know, a little better understanding of when things might flip around back to the upside. What other coins do people like to check in on? Mr. Solana. Mr. Solana, you are not looking pretty here. Not looking pretty at all. And hourly volatility is about to max out for the second time. I don't think that really matters. And here's what I would say with an hourly closure. Even let's take a look at a 30-minute. 30-minute is getting quite droopy. And let's say a measure move from this point to that point using the fib extensions. And so this looks like the target for Mr. Luna. How does that get invalidated? Well, you have to get back above your breakout level, starting with, and really I'd say, you know, an hourly closure. Yeah, it's probably going to be above the green 55 and more conservatively, the yellow 21 at 91. And that would be a bear trap. But yeah, so it looks like downside targets are going to initiate here in the next 8 minutes. And you could probably front run this because what is the 2-hour doing? 2-hour volatility is increasing. We're crossed to the downside. And we don't really have any hidden bullish divergence playing out yet. So do we get shot down to this wick here on the next closure? That's probably my guess for this one here. Let's see. So we got another 8 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and check in on ApeCoin again at 13.8. And really, any kind of an hourly closure back below this guy. And I'm looking for this thing to get extended quite a bit. We got about 7 minutes left. How much more can we get on this trade? How much more? Volatility is increasing on the 2-hour as we are crossing down. with volume on this candle. So I would expect the next candle to have a bit of follow through. Yes, we could bounce and back test the breakout or the breakdown level, which is right around here at 14 bucks. But typically this type of candle, if we close like this, that usually gets you one more drive to the bottom side. And yeah, so do we bounce at this little top right here? Does it line up on the 4 hour with anything? 4 hours is going to close here in about 6 minutes. So should be pretty interesting. And I'll even go down to the 5 minute to kind of mediate my thoughts here. And 5 minutes redlining here. We are deep into the bearish control zone. Could this potentially be our 1-2 drives? That'd be 2 drives of hidden bullish divergence, unless we go way, way back here. Yeah, so what am I talking about? We've got, is that a higher low? Higher low, 1, 2, 3 drives. So even on the 5 minute, we could get a corrective bounce back up to 1444 over some time. But generally, when you break the range, the wick low here on a closing, typically the next candle is going to give you some continuation to the downside. And what I would say is trend is in motion as long as we are closing below the bottom side Trollinger band, and looking for that to get hit maybe a little bit lower. The 1 minute is just about to max out here on time. And you can see here on the 1 minute, I'm going to go ahead and take this out. 1 minute. Probably going to get some continuation. We could redline for a couple more red lines here. Really dumping it out here. Really nice. So how's the 15 minute looking? Computer's not quite going fast enough here. So would I wait for a red line on the 15 minute to mediate a, getting out of this position? When bounce? When bounce? That is the question. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave you with this because I got to close up this trade and focus. But hopefully you guys have had some fun checking in on ApeCoin with me, looking at some live trades. This thing's up 24 grand right now. Probably going to be a good time to take some profits. So I'm going to wrap it up right now. That's it for today, guys. Wishing you all a blessed, highly favored day. Happy trading. And look forward to speaking with you all. Check out the link in the description below if you do want to put Bitcoin in your IRA or any cryptos. Take care.